studio after we eat, so how about if I meet you there? I don't understand why you come here once a week when you have a place of your own with even better equipment. High dollar equipment doesn't make me a better artist, but the classes I've taken here have. That made perfect sense to me. I was totally self-taught in cookie decorating, but I'd watched about 1,000 how-to videos and learned lots of different techniques that way. We met at the Japanese restaurant near the baking supply store that we'd eaten at a few times. I wasn't a big fan of sashimi or sushi, but Gavin loved it. I didn't mind going to eat there, though. I loved their black garlic ramen, and the tempura battered veggies were amazing, not to mention the service was fast and the people were friendly. It didn't take long for us to place our orders and get our food. Today's Thursday, so me and the boys will be getting together. You should join us. Gavin popped a piece of his sushi in his mouth and watched me, waiting for an answer. I can't. I honestly didn't have time for class this morning or this lunch. This is a really big order, and if I'm going to have everything ready for the baby shower Saturday afternoon, I need to get started on it. What kind of cookies do you make for a baby shower? Oh, there are all kinds of options, but they're decorating the nursery and sea creatures, so that's the theme for the shower as well. I'm making the cutest little octopus and seahorse cookies, along with green, blue, and yellow onesies. Hundreds of them. It's going to be adorable. That sounds like so much work. I'll stick to my pots. But seriously, we get together every Thursday. You really should come with us sometime. Maybe next week, I said, even though that was what I told him pretty much every week. It wasn't that I didn't want to get to know his friends. I'd met some of them a couple of times, and they seemed like nice guys. But I didn't think I'd fit in with them. Not only because they were all in daddy-boy relationships, but also because they were all in relationships, period, and I was perpetually single. I'd been the last single guy in a friend group before, and I knew how that went. Not good. They all either wanted to fix me up with someone or ignored me altogether because no one wanted to invite the single guy to a couple's night out. Yeah, well, that's what you said last week. But don't worry. I'll win you over. That's my superpower. Winning people over? Nope, he said with a grin. Getting my way. Bishop. All right, man, you should be good to go. I handed Marcus the keys to his Chevy. Thanks. I know I should probably trade her in instead of fixing her, but they don't make them like they used to. He tossed the keys to his truck in the air and caught them. That's the truth, I agreed, because any car guy worth his salt knew he was right. You should join us at the club tomorrow night. I haven't seen you there in a while. I'll think about it. Do that, and then stop thinking and show up, he said with a laugh as he walked out the door. I wouldn't, though. There was a reason he hadn't seen me there in a while. It was because I hadn't been in the mood. Club Verde was a nice place, and once a month they hosted a daddy-boy meet and greet, but the last couple of times I'd gone, it had been less than fulfilling. And it wasn't only Verde. I'd even tried one of the more hardcore clubs downtown, thinking I just needed something more exciting, but that didn't do it for me either. Was it possible to be going through a midlife crisis at 35? Seemed likely to me, especially on days like today where I'd spent the whole day bent over the hood of a car, so I felt 50 instead. Hell, maybe I wasn't going through a midlife crisis at all. Maybe I was just tired. I needed to hire another full-time mechanic and take a fucking vacation. The phone started to ring, and I sighed. And a front office person. I needed to hire one of those, too. Wilcox Automotive? Hey, Bishop. A deep, familiar voice boomed over the phone. Hey, Dustin, what's up? I took a seat and listened while he went on about a car he was thinking about buying that he wanted me to take a look at. Not that I minded checking out a car for him. Dustin was a good customer, and we'd been friends since high school. Hell, there was a time we were close as brothers, even. But that was before he left for college, and I opted for the Army instead. We'd lost touch, which was easy to do when you were stationed overseas for years at a time. I'd missed his wedding and the birth of his first child, but we'd reconnected when he moved back to town a couple years ago. Sounds like a good deal, he continued. And you know how nervous that makes me. I hear you, man.